The 33rd edition of the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup has served up spectacular and challenging sailing conditions, and provided the platform for elite crews to demonstrate their skill and appetite for first-class competition. After 3 days of racing, the leaders of the 6 classes are Galateia, Maxi A, Proteus, and Bella Mentay, Maxi B, Spirit of Lorina, Maxi C, Y3K, Supermaxi, Allegra, Maxi multee-hull, and Svea, J
At the
class.
midway point of this exceptional regatta, owners and crews have been treated to 3 days of incredible sailing conditions, with an impressively broad range of Maxi yachts in action.
Full range of boat types here. We go everything from the traditional types where we've got the J class, we've also got Lorina, which is a 1937 design as well. Everything from that point through to the absolute cutting edge of yacht design in boats like Open Season.
Making its racing debut here is Thomas Bacher's exciting new Baltic 68.
It's certainly the step forward in sailing. Starts with the deck. The deck is marine cork, comes from plantation. It's sustainable and lighter than teak.
Gone is the traditional diesel hydraulic system, replaced with cleaner, quieter, self-charging electric power.
The propeller is running the generator and producing electricity, which is stored in the batteries. Biggest asset for the boat for me is the total absence of noise. It's like in your old wooden dinghy when you were a child. It's a great experience, it's a lot of fun, the right development forward.
With 2 days of the regatta remaining, across all 6 classes, it's all to play for. Galateia leads Class A. Proteus and Bella Mentay are tied on points in Class B, and Y3K leads INEOS by just 1 point in the Supermaxi class. Elsewhere, Spirit of Lorina, Allegra and Svea head their classes. Join us again for an exciting regatta finale.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, week ending September 15, 2023. On a day when Rhode Island Sound served up some very shifty conditions, helmsman Cristian Frers and the Yacht Club Argentino crew posted a dominant scoreline of 2-1-2 to take the early lead at the 8th Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup, the premier one-design regatta for Corinthian sailors, with the low score of 5 points. In a regatta where the boats are very evenly matched in boat speed, every bit of clear air is an ingredient to success. And the 3 leaders set themselves apart from the pack by picking the shifts that led to clear sailing lanes.
You can be first one day and last the next one, so nothing is for granted.
This event is the best sailing event I've done ever.
Since the early 1980s, Maxi yacht owners and sailors have been drawn to the Costa Smeralda, and specifically the annual Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup. Considered the perfect sailing package, the event unites first-class organization, a majestic sailing environment, and the world's leading Maxi yachts and professional crews. The 2023 edition of the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup will be considered a special vintage. 4 days of racing offered the full repertoire of the Costa Smeralda sailing experience, from the strong breeze, big waves and robust sea state of the regatta's initial exchanges to the light, unstable conditions which closed proceedings.
One of the great annual yachting events concludes in style. The 2023 Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup reminded us just why it's the favourite big boat regatta for owners and crews.
Sun, big waves, big breeze, just very special.
Surfing, having a ball, just loving every minute of it. Fantastic.
I love this place and I love sailing here more than anywhere else in the world. It is priceless.
The clash of the titans, that's all it's about. Best of the best in perfect sailing.
And the best of the best came to the fore over the course of the week with exemplary performances across all 6 Maxi classes. Perhaps the most enthralling was in Class B, where 2 yachts from the United States, Proteus and Bella Mentay, had duelled all week. In the end, it came down to the wire in the final windward-lured race of the regatta, with Hat Fouth's Bella Mentay ultimately taking class honours.
We come every year and we work hard at it. It's the pinnacle of our season and we love it.
There was excitement too in the Supermaxi class, with Y3K hanging on to their slender lead to secure victory in their group. Success that was also shared by Galateia, Spirit of Lorina, Svea and Allegra, as winning performances were celebrated in style at the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda. A fitting end to the 33rd edition of an extraordinary regatta.
We are Sailing Only Media. Please subscribe, share, like, and check the alerts bell. For 50 years, winning the ocean race has been an obsession for the best sailors in the world, from the pioneers of the first edition of the Whitbread Round the World race, who set off from Portsmouth on the 8th of September, 1973, to the professional sailors who raced their foiling IMOCAs around the world earlier this year. The original race had 17 starters, and in the latest race the numbers had dropped to 5.
17 yachts from 7 nations are setting out on the world's longest ocean race.
This was the ultimate, I suppose, and it was viewed by many people as a pretty crazy thing to do. I don't think people think that now.
I wanted to do something out of the ordinary. And I thought, well, why do other people those things, and why don't I do them ever, you know?
In life, you could say, no, well, there's other important things, so you say, I'm going to go and try it.
The more people that said, oh, don't be so stupid, that's impossible, the more determined I became.
And my Mount Everest in life was to win this race.
That was a voyage. It was a lot more than just the race. That was a lifetime experience.
You have to do this race.
There's just nothing like it.
This is my Olympic medal, this is my climbing of Mount Everest, this is my childhood dream.
Best human experience you can do.
You'll be probably frightened at times, scared, worried. You'll hate it. You'll absolutely despise the fact that you're involved. And when you get to the finish, you'll know why, because there's nothing like it. It gets in your blood and you can't get rid of it.
It's amazing to think that the race is 50 years old. I've been inspired by the people that have come before me.
Cordova will host the first preliminary regatta of the 37th America's Cup from the 14th to the 17th of September, 2023. All 5 challenging teams, including Challenger of Record, INEOS Britannia, Allegra Red Bull Racing, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, New York Yacht Club American Magic, and the Orient Express Racing Team, will be on the water with the defender of the America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand.
I remember as a kid, you looked at some of the high-performance boats back then and tried to force in your mind, where can it go from here? Where can it possibly go from here? And you know, someone said to me then that 30 years later we'd be ripping around at 50 plus knots in foiling monohulls. I would have just laughed at them and gone, that's just insane. It never happened.
There's nothing quite like it. Everything is absolutely on the edge. The boat is noisy, juddering.
The performance, the speeds, the G-forces, it is more akin to driving a race car around a track.
The AC40, straight out of the box, it was a great bit of kit to get our hands on. It's got plenty of power and it is a very responsive, twitchy kind of boat.
It's an impressive boat. It's very fast, dynamic, relatively lightweight, I'd say. You get 2 helms split each side, they don't move. There is definitely an element of multitasking and there's a lot of button pushing that's going on.
It's quite a lot for the helms to do as well as steering the boat. They're quite heavily loaded up with all of the autopilot and the can operations. Being the trimmer, you're trying to get the absolute maximum performance out of the boat. So you're always weighing up how hard you push the trim and how close you keep the boat to the water and weighing that off against the risk of having touchdowns and having a big slowdown.
The AC40, we've all got the same equipment. So it's really going to come down to the fine-tune adjustments and then just minimising the mistakes, but also synchronising between the front and the back of the boat. So it's going to be pretty important, you know, to really hone in on those tiny differences that are going to, you know, get you that inch or a couple of metres in front of the next boat to then be able to make the cross and to go where you want on the race course.
You know, the America's Cup is both a sporting competition and a design race. Certainly in the early parts of a campaign, the focus is always around design. Villanova provides a nice line in the sand for teams to take that shift and really start looking at the nuances and the intricacies of racing these boats.
First AC40 event, first time teams go head-to-head this campaign, really. It's the first chance at little mind games to get that skip in your stride, so I think it's a pretty important first hit out.
I think the results will be important. You know, it'll be good for bragging rights, it'll be good for confidence. We want to, you know, show that we can go out there and race at the highest level and get the results. And also as a sailing team ourselves, you know, to build on those relationships, put ourselves under pressure, get the team back on the water, be racing against our competitors. That's where we want to be.
The sun has set on the 6-metre World Championship 2023 in Cowes, where a scoundrel becomes a hero and a king vanquishes a Maharaja on the concluding day of the 6-metre World Championship. Jamie Hilton's Scounder and King Juan Carlos of Spain's Bribon are 2023 6-metre World Champions. Light airs and just one race on day 3 concluded the 6-metre Worlds. A stellar day for Stella in the Open Division, and a Classics 3-way tie on day 2 were highlights of the championships.
So she was built in 1926 by Johan Anker. She was built for a Swedish shipping magnate, and in 1994 she was bought and completely restored by Claire Lallows here in Cowes, and she's now in a fantastic state, and we're so pleased to be sailing her here in the World Championship.
This is the Oiva. It's new. It was built in 2022. We have about 20 days of sailing on it, so it's really new for us still, but it's so much different from the old modern. Then there are much more electronic on board. So we have 10 sensors on board and we collect data and we can maybe learn a little faster.
The main differences are really around the rig tension you can run, the general how hard you can run the boat. The classics are much more a boat that needs care and tender loving, and so you need to think that this is 100 years old nearly, and to treat it as a piece of equipment that has got some age to it.
And winning the World Championship is candidly unbelievable. I'm speechless. Candidly, it was just fantastic. The boat goes so great, and the guys get the boat going so well that it just everything fell into place. I feel very fortunate, very lucky.
So many days in a row here in the Solent, and yeah, coming off spring tides, there's plenty of current all week, so yeah, it was actually very difficult conditions, but been very lucky to join this fantastic team for the week, and yeah, very proud we got the result that we wanted in the end. It wasn't easy, but yeah, very satisfying to get the result in the end.
Wonderful event.
After a slow start in the Solent, the Clipper Race Office has been monitoring the fleet's progress along with the weather forecasts and potential arrival times into Puerto Sherry. Unfortunately, the fleet has been hampered due to adverse headwinds interspersed with very light wind conditions on its way down the Iberian Peninsula. The arrival window into port was getting increasingly late, and the race committee then decided to apply a time limit on racing. Therefore, Race 1 officially ended at 1200 UTC on September 9th. Perseverance was placed first, after a strong lead throughout the whole race, and its skipper is Ineke van der Weyden, and her AQP is Jos Creswell.
So today's race start day. Yeah, super big, emotional day.
In about 2.5 hours, we'll be heading off to Cadiz and start the 11-month journey.
I've been waiting for this day since 2019.
So excited! So nervous!
Like, let's go, let's race. I think a bit nervous about the start, but
I think that's pretty natural. And
right now we're as ready as we're going to ever be, and today's D-Day, man. Let's do it.
we're ready to go.
A really good day.
Enjoy it.
And enjoy it, all right? Yeah. Good luck, guys.
A lovely meal with the family, really enjoyed it, and yeah, just sad to see him go. Yeah. I'm glad I'm wearing my glasses now.
Massive buzz around Gunwolf Keys Marina here, and the boats are really busy. Beautiful day as well. Just praying for enough breeze at the start line, which I think there will be. But yeah, amazing day, a lot of hard work.
We're just standing by for the start of the 13th trip around the World Yacht Race. They'll come back good seamen, good sailors, having had the most fantastic experience of their lives.
Incredible to have that support. My father's in a boat over there, my mum's on the shore side.
I can't lie to you, that is a bit nerve-wracking with that many people watching you, even though it was not the hardest one.
Can we keep
but it went well.
Clear?
We're off.
We've had some really tricky light wind conditions, but we're looking good. We've made up some places from a bit of a rocky start.
It's great. I think we were in a good position. It was a bit tricky with the tide because we had to slow down, but the tide was still pushing us over, so we had to gamble when to start speeding up. Two other boats kind of took the speeding up a little earlier than we did, but I think we went second over the line and we're currently third, so very happy.
We just managed to get around the mark with the last puff of the wind, and now the wind dropped a few miles and tide taking all of the other boats down the track, and we're really struggling at the moment to get around the mark.
A brilliant rounding of Mark II and are in first position at the moment, fighting to keep the others off with very light winds. We're about to round the last mark in the Solent, and then it's the way out and all the way to Spain.